Yes, people, welcome back to BBK Sports. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. We are glad to have you. Mad news. Who's surprised? Big up to that damn Shane Gooner, That Shane Gooner. The OGs. So you have to listen to the OGs. Experience is the best teacher. Because he's been calling this since the season ended. We're going to get injuries. We're going to get a lot of injuries, especially to the guys who had grade 3 hamstring tears. He said this a million times. Full disclaimer. He wasn't wishing injury upon any other players, but he did say this. Every stream that I've been on him with, he said, look out in the beginning of the season. A lot of guys are going to pull up with injuries, especially the guys who were rushed back. Kai was rushed back. Remember, Kai played against Newcastle to end the season. Remember that one? He played in the Newcastle game that we won 1-0 at the Emirates after undergoing surgery and played heavy minutes in preseason, heavy minutes, because we talked about Arteta trying to play him into form, so he would probably have to start him, because he wants to start him. And lo and behold, Kai Havertz, I think the headline says, destined for extended time on the sidelines. Extended. It means just a while, a couple weeks, maybe even months. Big up to all the BBK watchers. I see you people. Big up to Dre FC in the building. AJ, the legendary Mod, the Waffle Don, my brother, a stream partner in crime. Big up to the BBK First Lady Dana in the building. We got Darren Martin. Big up, brother. Larger in charge. Let the people them know the badness go. Big up, man. But I'm not even gonna pretend that I'm surprised at this news, because this happens. You play professional sports or do any kind of high impact activity, injuries lead to other injuries if you don't care for them well. That's why I'm trying to push myself to get up these crutches. And then I realized, no, you can't push yourself to get up these crutches too fast, because then you'll be right back on these crutches with a new injury. But now, Arsenal Football Club are the kings of being reactionary. Will they react to this? Transfer window still open. For all intents and purposes, I consider it closed, because I don't think we're getting any more players. Does this complicate things? What does he do now? Jesus isn't back till September, October. And how long will he last? So what's our second striker option? Is he going to go back to Moreno? Or is he going to use Trossard as a false 9? Trossard has played well there sometimes. And you just gave him a bumper contract. You just paid Kai Havertz more money. You just paid Trossard more money for what? Now, are they going to use hey, we just paid Trossard more money, now he has to step up as a reason not to go sign someone else? Someone else who could potentially score goals? This is why most of us was upset with the Matheus Cunha thing. Because Matheus Cunha, he can play left, which we're stinky. He can play 10, which we're stinky. And he could play up front if you need him to. But we will get into all that and more, people, after I big up every single one of these legends again. The Waffle Don, Bluebird in the building. AJ, good afternoon to you, sir. Big up to you every single time. You can make sure you are subscribing to the Waffle Don if you haven't already. He is my brother, my stream partner in crime. You see him, you see me. Sometimes I see the Waffle Don streaming with other people. I'm like, bro, what are you doing? That stream partner in time. You know how it is. Big up to the assembled. He said BBK gonna cook today. I don't know, man. I'm much more reserved today. My physical therapy went well. I'm off the crutches, but I'm still in the brace. I'm feeling good. Then I wake up to the news that Donkey Kai has injured himself. You couldn't make this up. Silver lining is the window is still open, and it's going to force the club to do something. It's going to force the club to make a statement, whether it's a verbal statement or a statement with their actions. Either way, whatever they do, it's a statement. You don't do anything. Okay, you trust that this squad, you think it's good enough to do the thing, to do the business. Because Mikel Arteta knows, now this is not for me. This is not the burden I'm putting on him. Because I'm clear, I'm on record as saying he does a domestic double, I'm happy. Right? The Premier League is not the be all end all for me, but he knows there are a lot of people who has his neck on the chopping block for a Premier League title. So if he thinks this squad is good enough, already falling like fly. And we see a couple men pull up in preseason. Trossard was one of them, pull up in preseason. We see Calafiori pull up in preseason. We know he's going to get injured. When Jesus gets back, you know he is going to get injured. We see it. He thinks this squad is good enough. You know, we're down to one striker now on our book after almost $1 billion spent. The Liverpool extraordinaire, big up Dre. Let me know over the badness, government brother. Big up to the chat, LFC Monster. Not the news you wanted to wake up to, eh? Not at all, my brother. Not at all. I wanted everyone fit, everyone healthy and fit going into the season. This is the season of no excuses. You know, last year was the season of no excuses. But the people who actually love him, liked him, even they are saying this is the season of no excuses. So this can't be one. This cannot be. We move. We cannot have, everyone else get injuries, man. Liverpool are going to get injuries. What the difference is, they're preparing for it. They're preparing for Ekitike getting the injury by going for ISAK. They're preparing for ISAK getting an injury when he does. They went and got Ekitike. If both of them are out, Gakpo can play there. You know, primary alternate contingency. So what are we going to do, Arsenal Football Club? Question, either this system too complicated or we are hiring the wrong players. Either way, what's wrong with Arsenal's has stemmed from this system. I hear it, the assembled. I go for Whistler, says EJ Jamboy. I can't hide from that either. I'm on record as saying I would have Isak at the Arsenal right now. I think Whistler is a baller. You know, I don't do the crazy stats and the crazy analytics things, but man scored 19 goals playing as a second striker. All open play goals, all of them. No pens. 19 goals. We got nowhere near that. Trossard played it well. Havertz, he knew Havertz was injured. Hey, that's a good point. This is my brother coming at it from a whole nother angle. Apologies, I ain't get to check out the Daily Waffle yet. As you know, I just woke up, so I have to hit the stream, and then I catch you on the watchback while I'm driving into the office or while I'm at my desk. But I will check it out, my brother. Look out for my comments down below. Any update on how much Trossard deal is? Because I still can't find it. Hey, I had a quick glimpse this morning, AJ, and then I'm saying to myself, like, okay, you know what? The amount is kind of irrelevant unless it's some exorbitant amount of figure, right? Unless I heard 240, and if it's that is mad, right? I don't know what he's on right now because I thought Trossard was out the door. But the figure is kind of irrelevant. The statement around giving a player extra money and essentially not extending their contract, you're essentially costing yourself money while you're saying you don't have money. Right? We don't have money to buy this guy because we can't sell anyone, but somehow we can cough up a couple extra million to pay you to do the same job. You know, so it doesn't make sense. I don't know how they're going to spin a rate. If say Trossard had like a worldly season last year where he outperformed his contract, they were like, you know what? You were on 50K, outperform your contract. We're not going to extend it, but here's 100K. But that's not the case. That is not the case. He did score quite a few goals for a player that's in and out the squad, but he didn't overperform his contract. That's the only time you would do something like this, when someone overperforms their contract. Like in the NFL or the NBA, you have like draft pick rounds, right? So like you would draft someone in like the 5th round of the NFL and they perform better. The quarterback performed better than the first round quarterbacks. Then you're like, oh shit. You know, we got to give this guy a bumper deal because he's giving us first round production. You know, big up to Jason Goodman at the building. Big up to you, brother. I'm not out there on the east coast of these United States. J Real One, I've been saying this all summer. Gabriel Martinelli and Trossard and by Wissa and Mitoma. Both of these. Both of them start for us. There were so many players that was floating around. Big up to the Latvian Gooner. Floating around that could start for us. Still. There were so many players who went to rivals that would have started for us. Kudus. You know. As they go in the Spurs, as they start for us easily. Easily. Grinders. Turkey, all these men start for us, you know. But we are the club of reactions. We don't do very well proactively. We sit around and wait. Yeah. So it's all good. But we are going to get into all of that, people. We are going to get in all of that after our 12th minute pause. And if you are in your vehicle, please, I will give you 2 seconds to turn your music up, to turn your volume up, because we have our brother, the Broad Street bully of the chat room.
Maybach music.
The biggest boss that you see thus far. Cause it's just another day in the life of the damn boss. Collar on my polo, kisses on my necklace. All my diamonds watching, now my watch is getting jealous. Follow me. I'm so sophisticated. To get a verse from me, you gotta be initiated. I think I'm Big Meech, Larry Hoover, whipping work. I'm burning purple flowers, it's burning my chest. I buried the Rosea born stunner. I can blow money.
Maybach music.
The damn Ross in the building, in the chat. Big him up every single time. Man has to be in the Guinness Book of World Records for the most solo intros that he's made in the chat rooms on YouTube, you know. Big up to E-Ross every single time. What a guy. What? So E-Ross be turning the damn comment section into a casualty, because once I go to play the music, so I have a hard time finding where I was. But big him up every single time. There he is. There he is. If we get Jackson on loan, all my jerseys are going on eBay. Quick. If we dare. I know. And yes, the tax man better not bring his ass over here with this fuckery. He better not come over here with this bullshit. Talking about man made he could have made some merch off that. Run my money for none. I don't know what he's gonna come up with for Jackson. You know, Rico Nico coming to Arsenal. Nah, brother. We not having that. We are not having that. But would you put that past this club? But what do we do now? What do we do for the striker position, right? I'm appointing LFC Monster, DJ Jamboy, Latvian Goon. I'm appointing all you man in the Bertha position. Do you wait this out, or do you go get someone else? Do you take your eyes off another attacking player to chip in with goals, or you go get an actual striker? Because Waffle Don's been actually saying that we actually need another striker. Striker, left back, left wing, and another creative player. He's been calling this. My brother, he has all the receipts, you know. Big him up every single time. This is gonna say, don't worry, people. Moreno to the rescue. I'm not sure I want that. I think he'd be more inclined to play Trossard in a false nine than Moreno in certain games. But then he really likes Moreno for those aerial duels, doesn't he? So, hey, fix it, Mikhail. Fix it. You have to fix it. Big up to Sabi, the BBK All-Star. Hope you are good, baby girl. Yes. Grab your pum pum and wine. Out there in the great state of Maryland. Was Havertz injured already? Then why Trossard? Yeah, there's some smoke there, right? Smoke, fire. Because if Trossard and Trossard agents know that Havertz is injured, that kind of gives him some leverage. You know, I'm going to be playing two positions. Say that my positions. Gives him leverage. Don't want to extend the contract. However, pay raise would be nice. Rumor it's 220. That's too much. That is too much, brother. You know, that's more than ISAK. That's more than ISAK is getting. And them man are leading them teams to trophies. You know what I'm saying? He was on 90. Okay. He was on 90. Put him on 110 then, 150. I wouldn't hold my breath for any new signings. Remember, we needed a striker. Funnily enough, we got Havertz when Havertz got injured. Fair play. That's what it is, the assembled. That's what it is. He was on 90K. No more than I agree with this. No more than that. In what world are you thinking that a 60,000 pounds per week increase is not enough for a player who doesn't even start? You know? And if you're gonna have a bench player make you 150, you should be an attacking player. It shouldn't be your third choice left back. You know what I'm saying? Big up to AJ. Pardon my manners. How's the injury these days? It's going. Doc is saying I'm ahead of schedule. You know, right where I'm supposed to be. 8 weeks post-op. I'm like, okay. They've upped my physical therapy to every day a week now. I've been given authorization to do certain exercises that put some strain around the knee area, and I'm being told that pain is okay. Like shit, I don't really like pain, but we'll see. I expect, but I appreciate that, AJ. Appreciate you checking in. I expect a loan deal on deadline day. Nothing more. Don't trust the club one bit. Dana, it's gonna happen. It's just because you know what the deadline day deals. What they do is they put it all the way to the deadline day. Then you have no choice but to okay, because if they do it now, we have time to react and be mad about it. On deadline day, the window's closing and you're just like, okay, whatever. You're like, what the ever. Now, big up to Shane Guna. Big up to Shane every single time, man. When Shane enters the chat, Shane gets his flowers. Big up to Cooper in the building. Now, people, I stumbled across an article yesterday on FootMob, and it kind of said the 4 things Arsenal need to do to end their trophy drought or push on for the Premier League title, something along that lines, right? And the 4 things that they listed were injuries. Oddly enough. Now, Shane, if you go back to the very first beginning of the stream, if you rewind it all the way back, I said I gave you your flowers. I said you call these injuries before the season even started. Way back, way back, car seat way back. So injuries was one of the 4 things that Arsenal Football Club need to do to end their trophy drought and win the Premier League title. Injuries, manage injuries is what they said. And then I wake up to the Kai Havertz thing, right? Number 2 was clinical edge. They need to finish their chances. Clinical edge, create all these big chances, but don't put them away. Injuries, clinical edge. The 3rd one was creativity from open play. Hala, we got the name Set Piece FC last for a reason. Right? Injuries, clinical edge, creativity from open play. The 4th one was reinventing Martin Odegaard. Number 4. Reinventing the skipper, Arsenal captain, in the attacking part of the pitch. 3 goals, 8 assists in a Premier League campaign. Not good enough. Yep. So injuries, clinical edge, creativity from open play, and reinventing Martin Odegaard was the 4 things they said Arsenal must do to win the Premier League title and or a trophy at all. And as I read through all 4 of those talking points, I said to myself, every single one of these talking points leads right back to the manager. You know what they say, when you point the finger, there are 4 or however many pointing back at you, right? So, injuries. Why is Arsenal Football Club getting so many injuries? Are they training too hard? Are they doing too many laps? You can point all these back to the manager from overplaying the players. Overplaying them. The player can't sub himself out of a game. He can't sub himself in. Can't put his name on the starting sheet. The injuries. Manager has some blame there. Clinical edge. You went 4 years without a striker. A clinical one. That's down to him. Reinventing Martin Odegaard. You playing him as a 10. He's really an 8. And you play him on one side of the pitch. You need to reinvent him. You need to let him play football. Creativity from open play. That and reinventing Martin Odegaard are married. He is charged with the creativity, and he is not it. So you can fix both those problems with one solution. The guy that's going to Tottenham or another creative player. All these things that they saying that Arsenal Football Club need to do, they need to change Arsenal Football Club and they just put the manager's name in there. But they won't do that. They won't do that. They love him so damn much. I'm hearing anything from 180 to 240 a week for the donkey. Oh my days. AJ, I doubt it would be that much, but it wouldn't surprise me at all. And the fact that it wouldn't surprise us is part of the problem too, isn't it? Trossard moved into the center to cover Havertz. Oh shit. You can bring Trossard, Sancho in. No Sancho. No Sancho. No one who's ever touched a Chelsea shirt. Anyone that we're getting from Chelsea, she should be Caicedo or Cole Palmer. Players that they actually respect. Players that they actually value. And the volume of people, you knew it was going to drop. You know it was going to drop. And like E-Ross, yeah, man, E-Ross in the building. We got all the people who like the E-Ross tribute, man. They're even savvy. That's baby girl. Go on with the thing. Big up to Rambo Kanambo in the building. Every time I hear the Maybach music, I'll remind you we need it off. I got it. Damn, Dana, man. Dana holds me to account, man. Okay. Respect, Dana. Respect. I got you. I got to figure out how to do that. Yasser the tax man. You know he's going to come over here with the fuckery, E-Ross. You know it. You need a striker. Here's Nico. You need a left back. Here's Chilwell. He's good for it. That's what he does. He's going to come around with the fuckery. And the club will bite. Saying Trossard was on 90K a week, so probably over 100 somewhere. Yeah, I think AJ or DJ say 150. It's calm. And the money only is a point. The money is only a talking point. It's because they're telling us they need to sell to buy. You can't be broke walking into the Gucci store. Even though people do it all the time, especially with Jamaican people, and then be broke. Be buying Italian designer out. But yeah, can't be broken. Can't get this player, can't get that player. You give me a Trossard. So you won't pay Rodrigo. Do something. But you're going to give Trossard a bump. This is criminal. I say sack Arteta ASAP. That could be the biggest signing of the summer or the biggest move of the summer. Now Bertha better have a backup manager somewhere. Because when this go tits up and it could go real fast, he must have someone ready. The search doesn't start when you sack the manager. The search should have already started. Latvian Guna said it best. Internal solution spending. Yeah. This is a thing that the big boys don't even do, Liverpool lost someone to a tragic accident. They ain't say no internal solutions. They went and got TK. ISAK is going there. That Cole from Chelsea that did his ACL, Chelsea's not doing the internal solutions thing. They're going to go sign a center back. Don't be surprised if Chelsea throw their hat into the Gahey thing. I could see him doing it. We need a left winger desperately. Desperately in the left wing. It was painful watching that left side the other day, right? It was painful. Oh my days. Big up to Tony Cloud in the building. I see you, my brother. I hope you are well. Tony, the man, the Claude. What's would be the guy I'd go for if I was Bertha? I hear it. Fish out. Not ISAK, yeah? Not ISAK. He only wants Liverpool. When Gyökeres comes off this weekend, I bet Moreno goes right in this place. Now, if Vegas is taking bets on that, I'm doing it. But Gyökeres might play a full 90. Gyökeres might play a full 90 trying to get a goal. He has to get a goal. He can't go 2 or 3 games without a goal. Remember a couple seasons ago when Jesus was in a drought, in a rut, and Arteta kept him on the pitch, just kept trying, just trying to get him a goal to get the ball in the net to raise his confidence, and it just didn't happen for him. So if it's a tight game against Leeds, Gyökeres is playing a full 90 because he needs to hit the net at home. Leeds, you know, I'm hearing people saying that they would prefer Madueke to start. You've heard me say I don't even care who's on the left side. It's the same. It's the, you know, two cheeks of the same ass. It's so bad over there. It doesn't matter. But in a game like Leeds, where you know you're going to be attacking, Nani could be useful, or a forward that can play right across the front line. I hear it. I hear it. Tony the man, Claude. Big up to Tony. Tony link in the chat. So people can subscribe to Tony. Yes, sir. For no reason I be calling Arsenal operations. Did they answer? Would they answer to their fans? Nah. This is a stack chat today. Yeah, the chat is buzzing. Chat is absolutely buzzing, man. So you know, when I do my solo streams, I like to dig in these comments because I don't get this opportunity when I have men like Tony on here. Imagine having Tony on here trying to go through the chat. It'd be a 10-hour stream. I heard Chelsea would be willing to let Jackson leave on loan. Wouldn't put it past us to take him. We are shameless like that. We are dumb. How dumb are we? We cannot. Maybe you're right. Maybe you are right though, because Arteta sees Nani as a left wing, so maybe Trossard will play central. Sometimes you see a chance will fall to someone. Like you'll see a chance fall to Trossard or Martinelli, and you ask, I would think to myself sometimes, if that was Trossard, that's a goal because he's ambidextrous with his feet. You know, it'll fall on Martinelli's left foot. It would fall on Havertz's right foot. It doesn't matter with Trossard. Left foot, right foot, bang, he's getting a shot off. He just doesn't have pace. Like I was telling Brother Abs, like, he has good tech. And this is one of the reasons why I like Rodrigo, because if you add up all our left wingers, that's what you have. You know, you take Trossard's tech, Martinelli's work rate, and you take Nani's directness running at his man. That's Rodrigo in one player. I'd argue his tech is better than Trossard's tech. And he has pace. The boy is quick. And he attacks his fullback. But you only get one of those qualities in each of our left winger. You add them all up, you have Rodrigo. This would be more than Gyökeres. Yeah, this would be criminal. The weight structure is just like, and this is what they told us. They worked so hard to fix the damn weight structure, and now it looks crazy. With the left back making 150, and then Zubimendi on 75, and the left winger Madueke making, you know, which is good. You can have Zubimendi on 75 and it's incentive based, and we'll win the league. It goes up to 1-something. I'm calm. But the money's only a thing because they're telling us we don't have any. You know, don't come into some money and then, you know, book a vacation. I'm not with that. Realistically, I go for Lookman and Wissa. Unrealistic, yeah. Done. That is done. Shane Guna, my legend. I still don't think we'll sign anyone. Yeah, I agree. We'll be active in the window and then get internal solutions speech at the end of the season. Internal solutions, guys. We're all working and training together, guys. That, or we'll get some stinky Chelsea loan. See, this has a lot of legs, you know. Like this is the PTSD that we know our club, innit, Shane? We know our club will do some fuckery like this. Nico or Nkunku and Clunky. Nkunku is the thing, right? He's linked away. Another failed Bundesliga transfer. People had failed to bring this up when they were saying Sesko was the guy we should have get instead of Gyökeres. But we have a guy in our own team that failed to bang in the Bundesliga. We're banged in the Bundesliga, failed to bang in the Prem. We've seen Timo Werner bang in the Bundesliga, failed to bang in the Prem. Nkunku banged in the Bundesliga, failed to bang in the Prem. So maybe he would be Nkunku, right? Nkunku, he can play. Remember last year going into the season, it's like, hey, Man like Greasy Dunn, wait till Nkunku gets fit. Wait till Nkunku gets fit. All over Never Foul, all over Dan Potts' Race for Europe show. Every platform he was on, anyone with ears who would listen, wait till Nkunku gets fit. Now he's out the door. You know how many unblown balloons stayed in that man damn socks this summer? Ahead of schedule, you know. Let me. You are like Jesus. Yeah, Jesus needs to come back. Ball to feet, I've always said he's better than Madueke still. You know. But realistically, we will do nothing or get a deadline day bum on loan. See, the chat is onto it. Bless Cooper. That's how behind I am on the comments. But bless Coop. Hope you are well, my brother. Don't even bother about Gabriel Jesus. We should honestly be buying him out of his deal. That's an expensive rip up. I'm just against the loan. If we're gonna loan him to someone and still have to pay $200K, just keep him. If you can get 10 games out of him, just keep him. Big up to Godfrey. Big up to Godfrey in the chat. I lose my mind if that's real. That's a blowing money fast. That's what that was. Part of the Ross's tribute, BMF, blowing money fast. Big Meech, Larry Hoover. That's what the BMF means. That's what Arsenal will be doing if we're doing this. Put men on 220. That would be criminal. LFC Monster heard Lee Gunner say yesterday, if a player was to see out their contracts as they stand, you'd be paying out $500 million in wages. Yeah, I heard that too, man. You saw that show, LFC Monster. You saw that show. Now, that's a great segue for LFC Monster. We'll jump back into the chat in a second. But that show, I didn't even see this, but I'm so glad Don Potts played it, because the people who are out here trying to silence Tony Adams, right? Tony Adams can't have an opinion, right? But man who is allowed to have an opinion, and Tony should be quiet, will go on the internet and say shit like this.
Hey, what are your thoughts though about Eze and the whole Tottenham situation? Because it seems like he's agreed to join Tottenham.
I'm waiting. I'm sitting back. I don't think he's a Tottenham player by the end of the winter.
You think he goes to Tottenham, or you think he comes to Arsenal?
I think Tottenham pay for his hotel to come to the Emirates.
Tony Adams can't have an opinion on football, but he can. Men are telling Tony to be quiet. Don't say that. Keep it to yourself. But he can open him big stinking mouth and say fuck you like that. Brother. This is what we're up against, you know. That stream was almost 3 hours of about 4 or 5 people who are upset that the club hasn't won anything in 5 years. And 2 people were fighting tooth and nail, trying to justify that having not won anything in 5 years is some form of success. And these men want to have a platform, want to have an opinion, but Tony can't. And I said on yesterday's stream, if Tony Adams can't speak on football, we all need to cancel our YouTube channels. Every single one of us. I'm not into silencing people. Live and let live. But these are the men them who are telling Tony to be quiet. Oh, my days. Jesus would be like a new signing. Oh, my days. There ain't no me today. I got enough from the other brothers. G Money, you know I love you, brother. You know I love you. But, you know, sometimes you do put on your Top Guna hat, and we have to knock it off. Big up to you every single time. Chances. There's a chance. There is a chance. There's always the chance when there's a player that Chelsea don't want. But if it's the shit sandwich of Nkunku or Jackson, which one are you taking? Because I don't rate Jackson at all, man. That boy, oh my God, top Guna. So, you know. Honestly, Northside might have been right about Bertha. I'm not there yet, AJ, but I'm not going to dismiss what he's saying, because the point that he's making, he has a logical, rational argument to back it up. And that's all I ask from an opinion. If you have an opinion, it's your opinion. But please base it in something other than your feelings, right? You can't tell me that. If you tell me that Wayne Rooney is the greatest Premier League striker to ever play, I don't agree with it, but I'm pretty sure you can have a logical, rational argument to back it up. Because Wayne Rooney was a top guy, top player, right? But if you tell me that it's Dominique Calvert-Lewin because you like him, because he wears a dress, then I'm not. You know what I mean? I'm not being condescending or anything. But then, you know, some opinions can be asked. You're asking too much, says Top Lunas. Stop with the Jackson and wait for Asmus. He's on his way out. But you know what I think is funny? Like the United fans are giving Gyökeres a whole lot of corn for not scoring. And it seems like that man forget that they signed an entire 3 front line that didn't score either. And they were at home and they were supposedly good. And they supposedly bopped us off the park. They didn't score. None of them. Oh man, yeah. Make sure you are subscribed to the Latvian Goonie. Make sure, man. That guy, the only one we know, and he makes great content. Everyone knows that Jesus will relapse and get injured again when he comes back. Yeah, he will. We can't get past that anymore. We've seen enough evidence not to have confidence. AJ, he inherited a mess, and we need to give him time to correct. Yeah, I said up many times. I'm giving him a lot of grace, especially with these shit contracts. He didn't put any of these men on these crazy deals. Like, he should actually be given credit for getting Zubimendi to take what, 75K, if that's true, and to get Nani, even though we didn't want Nani, for the same deal. Because in yesteryear, to get a Chelsea player, we would take him from Chelsea and give him crazy money, a la Kai Havertz. We made Kai Havertz our highest paid player before he kicked the ball for us. That is crazy. You know, Tony Jesus Christ, Claude. I mean, we have no strikers combined. We have 2 strikers. 550K a week in the hospital, for fuck's sake. It's criminal. Mr. Battered, big up to you, sir. BBK All-Star Extraordinaire. Liverpool fan. What are you saying? A day closer to deadline day, guy. Garnacho signing. He can go there. Big up to Godfrey, another BBK All-Star member of the channel. Big up to you, man. Big up to you every single time. The more things change, the more they remain the same. The operations motto, in my opinion. The assemble. I agree with you, man. I fully agree with you. It's like this, the roundabout. It's such a good name for that show that Dan Potts does. It's the and clunky. Wait till Nkunku's fit. Wait till Nkunku's fit. That's what they said. That's what they're gonna say. We have seen Havertz bang in the Bundesliga, but in the Prem, it's a list of them. It's a bunch of them that failed, and his name is at the top of that list. A couple of them that did well though. I think it's just the strikers that don't do well. The midfield, some of the midfielders have done well. You know, Gundogan, and he's the first name that comes to my head, but I'm pretty sure there are other midfielders from the Premier League. You know, Kevin De Bruyne did play at Wolfsburg as well. Ozil did play at Werder Bremen before he went to Madrid as well. So, you know, it is one of them ones. Actually, yes, because he's not fixed the biggest problem, but of course not. Yeah, I'm giving him a little more time, AJ. Giving him a little bit more time. Big up to John in the building. Hope you are good. Thank you for joining us. That is absolutely on fire today. Bertha making foolery. Yeah, Bertha. Yeah, man, it's Big Meech. Larry Hoover sitting in his cell in the federal prison in Terre Haute, Indiana. Don't ask me how I know that. I'm happy Trossard is staying, says John. So, great player. Great tech. You know, I was okay seeing Trossard go with the idea of us getting, you know, an upgrade on the left wing. Didn't want us to go into a season with Martinelli and Trossard again as our left wingers, because it just hasn't yielded any fruit. Buying mediocre footballers. Hey, hey. DJ Jam Boy. Yeah, we got quite a few of them. Why are they few? They're making me chuckle this morning. Even cigars. Yeah, he said that, E-Ross. He said that. And he thought he cooked too. Thought he cooked. They paid for his hotel for him to come to the Emirates. What an idiot, man. What an idiot. Like, I'm convinced, like, if you watched that stream yesterday, man is a YouTuber that talks about football. He's not a football fan that does YouTube. And if you want to just get into some tactics with him and see how he gets flustered. It's so easy. John Bot Van de Gaal. But these men want to speak, but Tony can't. The new intro Dan Pods for the 12 is amazing. Yeah, I gotta check that out. When you're at that level, you got people who make stuff and set it into you. I just hit them with the music. The music is what I can't do the graphics thing. I barely even know how to get the music that I play for E-Ross on Spotify, but I somehow have to do that so Dana can get off my neck. I thought there was already a deluded gooner out there. Realize this. We're gonna put a big old S, a couple of S's. So many of them, but that entire AFTV media shit, fully diluted from Ty. You know what? I'll even give Ty a pass because Ty is in a whole special category. But that Julian, Cecil, that James, they're just all. And I get it, right? They can't really disagree with Robbie, you know what I'm saying? Well, you got to kind of do it, roll with what your boss does. Unfortunately, the Turkish has his own channel, so Turkish can do what he wants to. But the rest of them, they fall in. Because, that team-sponsored trip to Singapore, they're not giving that up. They are not giving that up at all. I don't think he's getting 180 per week, but I don't pay no attention to egal. You should speak on hockey. He lives in the UK now, so he's not an international fan anymore. Yeah. Sterling Loan, you're about to see the best of me. John, at a minimum, matching Gabriel 180 a week, and as high as 240 for Trossard. Anything over 150, Arsenal, it's why? It's like, why? So 180 would imply if he's on 90, okay, I see. Double. We're doubling. We're going to double your salary, but we're not going to give you a contract extension. So essentially, doubling your salary for a season is tantamount to a 1 year extension. But which is best for the club, though? Paying you more money, bump a contract in 1 year, or extending you for another year? I guess the club did the math, did the analytics, and have thought to themselves that this is best for the club. While, giving the player some incentive. Bertha got to take some heat, though. Understand this is his first window, but man's been there for months now. Yeah, and that's a fair challenge. Because it's not like he got hired in January with a start date of the summer. You get hired in January, you start working that day. You come in January, you start planning for the next upcoming transfer windows. So yeah, he's not absolved of any blame in this situation. I completely agree with Mr. Barrett. I don't think we're really serious about Eze once Waneri signed. Arteta won't bench Odegaard. He won't. He will not. I said yesterday he's going to play 38 games this season. 38. He's going to make a statement to Tony Adams. How dare you tell me what to do about my captain? He's going to play. And that's going to hurt Waneri's minutes, and that's going to hurt Diamond's minutes. Rice gets injured, and all these Arteta in will finally wake up. He's going to do a lot of running this year, man. A lot. Picking up and covering for Zubomendi while Zubomendi gets up to the pace of the Prem. We need to get a player like Ollie Watkins. That would be great. Gyökeres and Watkins. Fair shot. Arteta doesn't know how to play with a proper striker. Gyökeres doesn't get any service. Yeah. And that's the thing, right? If you're making $15.678 million a year, and you're meant to not be able to incorporate a striker, You're shit. Hey, coaches at lower levels can figure out how to incorporate a striker. And you're meant to be one of the top guys, and you can't. Big up to the 27 of you locked in. Can we get to 20 likes, people? Big up to all the silent listeners as well. But I don't know who has heard it before or get tired of hearing the Shaquille O'Neal analogy that I use. Big Shaq Diesel can't dribble the ball up the court himself. But man is top 10 all-time in scoring. He needed Kobe to get him the ball. Derek Fisher, Rick Fox, everyone. Throw the ball in the paint to the big fella so he can do his damage there. Right? And while I'm using basketball analogies, we can move it away from Shaq, right? And you know that guy named Michael Jordan? That guy named Michael Jordan who won all them championships with Phil Jackson. You know, Phil Jackson did not draft Michael Jordan. Now, people think Michael was drafted by Phil and just won all those championships. No. Doug Collins was one of Michael's first coaches. And Doug Collins is a good coach. He just wasn't the guy to win championships. Arteta could be a good coach. He just can't be the guy to win us the titles. It wasn't until they got Phil Jackson that, dang, Michael started winning championships. Right? Even, you know what? Even more recent example. Let's use Steph Curry. Greatest shooter that God ever created. Steve Kerr got the best out of Steph Curry to win championships with him. Mark Jackson. Mark Jackson drafted Steph Curry in 2009. Mark Jackson is a good coach, great commentator, played for my New York Knicks, point guard. But he was the one who drafted and developed Steph, but he wasn't the guy to win them the title. Steve Kerr comes in. A new coach comes in, and he has 4 NBA titles now, the same amount as LeBron James. And he came in the league 6 years after LeBron James and have the same amount of rings. Different coach, you know? So maybe Arteta is our Doug Collins, our Mark Jackson, our Brandon Rodgers. There is something there. John, we could have bought Ollie Watkins, but twice, but Arteta bought Gabriel Jesus in 29 instead. You know, whenever I hear someone say they're an Arsenal fan, I'm like, okay, not coming. I used to hear reports that Ollie Watkins is a childhood Arsenal fan. Then you heard the same thing about Eze. I'm hearing the same thing about we heard about Semenyo. I think Ivan Toney was a Liverpool fan. There was some rumors that he was an Arsenal fan or whatever, but it seems like whenever someone wants to come to Arsenal who's a fan of the club, nope, send them somewhere else. Latvian Guna said, facts, Cooper. He wants a team without a proper number 9. Sesko gave him time to figure stuff out for himself more than anything. Gyökeres win now, no excuses. Yep, that's what he wanted. So, all hail Bertha. Bertha is getting some flowers for forcing you. I'm gonna give you a guy that scores goals. The squad needs goals. The team needs goals. Here's a guy that scores goals. Figure it out. And if you can't figure it out, I'll replace you with someone who can. You know, he should be embarrassed. If your name is linked with, I can't figure out how to get a striker to score goals, you should be embarrassed. And then the guy who in the clip that I just played earlier said there aren't 5 managers in world football that's better than Mikel. So if let's say there's any kind of credence to that. We know there isn't, but let's say there is. So you're a top 5 manager in the world. Because I can't name 5 managers better than you. Pep, Slot, Hansi Flick, Xavi Alonso, Diego Simeone. That's just 2 leagues. I haven't even gone to France yet. I've already named 5 coaches that are better than him. But if you're meant to be one of the top 5 managers in Europe and you can't figure out how to use that striker, come on, son. Come on. As View said, Bertha needed to box. Smart. He wasn't all summer. That's a fact. Big up to my brother Views, by the way, over in Egypt, enjoying his vacation. Cooper's the only problem is with not signing Eze. Ethan will be overpaid if Odegaard gets injured. there will be a massive chance of burnout within 2 seasons. You know? I usually think that young players, you know, because Saka didn't get burned out until like the 4th year of fucking constant being overplayed. I think Ethan played 800 and something minutes last year. I think we could get 15 to 800 minutes out of Ethan this year and don't have to worry about any kind of burnout. I wouldn't. Just trying to catch up on the comments here, people. Bear with me a second. But keep them coming, though. Keep them coming. I'm thoroughly enjoying these. I am thoroughly enjoying these. You men are absolute legends. You people. I just meant because Dana be with us as well, so I don't want Dana to feel excluded. But big up to you every single time. Big up to Hendo. Hendo in the building said the wheels are already starting to come off for the season, and we're only into the first week of the new Premier League season. The excuse express better not latch on to these injuries. We're not hearing it. We are not hearing it because you get injuries early and you can ride the wave. And then teams will get injuries on the back end. We just have to prepare ourselves with a big enough squad or enough depth in the squad so we can overcome those injuries. We can beat Leeds without Havertz. How many weeks is he gone? But, what was the rationale for Trossard's contract upgrade? Didn't he have 2 years left on his deal? The only thing I can think of, Mr. Barrett, is his agent know that Havertz was injured and he just used that as leverage, not to trigger a 3rd year. So they can pay him up front and his deal will be up in 2 years. But I'm still in favor of selling them, to be fair. I'm a fan of Lookman, so I wouldn't mind. Fair shout. And I've said my piece on Lookman many, many times. But I think Lookman is good in this area. I just don't think he's a prem player. BBK, do you think operations are too loyal to the players who aren't good enough? In my opinion, operations need to be ruthless and successful. Yeah, absolutely. Like you see that guy from Chelsea, Maresca, he brought Drewsbury Hall with him from Leicester to Chelsea. Through loyalty. That was a loyal move. Hey, you helped me win the championship. You're coming with me to Chelsea. He didn't bang at Chelsea. He sells him the very next year. After winning 2 trophies. Sells him. Gone. Bye. We've seen players like Ferran Torres at City. Cancelo. Bring these men in, ship them out. Bring them in, ship them out. We just hold on to, like Latvia and Gunnar. Me and Latvia and Gunnar was talking yesterday about these extensions. I would name a player, he would name a player that's been extended that was just at the club too long. So, it was like Eddie, and I was like El Neni, and then it was Reese. And it just goes on and on, just the extension and the extension of guys who were just happy to sit on the bench and collect the check. John said, Trossard can help. Sell Martinelli. We should have signed Medwick. I agree. We shouldn't have said. I agree with this as well. This is a fair shout because Martinelli you could actually get good value for. We're desperate for money. You could get 60 million profit on Martinelli. We paid less than 10 million for him. I'm reading reports that Bayern Munich was in for him and Arteta blocked the sale. So I don't know how true that is, but if it is, that is criminal. That is criminal. Don't even bother with Robbie when his brother is a Luton Town fan. The Hatters. He's a Hatter. Listen to me carefully. Mr. Trossard is getting more money, but not even another year. He's still out of contract in the summer of 2027. So yeah, pretty much he's gonna leave on a free. Yes, do it. Sack him. Because the four things that I read in that article that they were talking about, the 4 things that Arsenal need to do to improve their trophy drought and or win the Premier League this season. The clinical edge, the creativity of Martin Odegaard, reinvent him, creativity from open play and injuries. A new manager solves those. All those point back to the manager. But a new manager solves all of them. All the solutions requires a different manager. Arsenal Football Club or a cold case. We need a new detective with a fresh set of eyes that will see Dowman and will see Ethan, right? Because There's a world exists that Ethan's best position might be left wing, and we won't even know that if Arteta stays, because he just sees him as a backup for Odegaard. No one saw Saka as a right winger when he came into the squad as left back. And right now, we put Saka in conversations of the best right wingers in the world, but he started at left back. So Ethan started on that side. Now he's on this side. But it will require new ideas, new tactics. Arteta is not going to have an epiphany and change his tactics over time, overnight. He won't. He will not. He is who he is at this point. Stuck in his ways. Big up to all 24 you still locked in, man. I thoroughly enjoy reading these comments. Ivan Toney is a Liverpool fan, but he would be perfect backup to Hugo. Yeah, he's doing well out in Saudi too. Still making a bag of money and still making the England squad from Saudi. So big up to him. We need a left wing more than a striker. Moreno can spell Gyökeres. I hear it. The left wing is stinky, isn't it? It's so stinky. Again, so teams have fully worked this out. They know we get nothing from that side, or we do get something from that side. It's a shock to everyone. It's like, score to go from the left side of the pitch, But yeah, Hansi Flick, Inzaghi, Zidane, Luis Enrique, Slot, Pep, Xavi, Diego, Simeone, Xabi Alonso, Conte, Emery, Iraola, Eddie Howe. There's so many. It's like pretty much. Actually, everyone who's won a trophy in the past 5 years are better than him. Hey. Oh my days, yeah. Damn, even Klopp. Even though he's not active still, but a sleeping Klopp is still better than Arteta. Klopp walks into this team right now, man. Oh man. You give Klopp our defense, a workhorse midfielder like Declan Rice. Oh my days. Heavy metal. He would cook. Play fast, fluid football. I'm here for it. Yep, there you go. 2 more. That's that. I hear it. Hugo is a Man United fan. Boys, more scouts now than Liverpoolians. KDB, another Liverpool fan. All this player is a fan of the club, needs to stop. Facts. Absolute facts, man. You're a paid employee of the club. And then you play for the club and you win. You grow to love the club, really. Jamie Carragher said he grew up an Everton fan, did he not? Thoughts on the ISAK Newcastle fiasco overnight. It makes for great reality TV. I think ISAK is frustrated. And I think Eddie Howe hit on something when Eddie Howe said he was being given bad advice by the people around him. And sometimes when you're given bad advice, it gets compounded with more bad advice. Because I don't think that moved them closer to a solution on either side. I do think he'll be a Liverpool player. I do think the people at Liverpool told him, "Hey, brother, we're coming to get you." The same way, because man has essentially quit his job, just like Gyökeres quit his job, right? Hey, down tools. This is where I want to work. I want to work in Merseyside. I don't want to work in Newcastle anymore. And, the statement and the reply from Newcastle seems that the truth is somewhere in there. Their version, club's version, and the truth is somewhere in the middle. But I understand why he did it, because he couldn't. He can't call a press conference because then he's going to get bombarded with questions, and he can't call a press conference with his agent because then it won't look genuine, right? But you release the statements and then you turn the comments off. Because if you left them comments on, I'm pretty sure he got some hate there. But it wasn't a good look at all. But he's going to be a Liverpool player, bro. He has to be. That relationship is sour. There's been irreconcilable differences. The number one grounds for divorce in these United States. Enrique wants to manage in the Prem. I'll be a brother. I will sell Arteta and a couple of players to PSG. For Luis Enrique. Man won trebles with 2 different teams. Rah. I'm here for it. I must be the only one not fussed about this Havertz injury, says Boy 10. Well, we knew this would happen. Like Shane Gooner and most of the boys were calling it. Like the guys who got rushed back from the hamstrings will pick up more injuries. And forget the preseason. People forget that Kai Havertz actually came back during the season last year. He played against Newcastle when the league was completely out of reach. We had nothing to play for. Champions League was done. We had nothing to play for. In May of 2025, he came on to play against Newcastle. While we had a whole preseason ahead of us for him to play. And then in preseason, he was playing the most minutes. Why was he playing the most minutes? Because we didn't have another striker, one. And two, Arteta was trying to play him so he could bang, so he could start him against Man United. And he got overplayed too early and he got injured. So it's another managerial blunder. Why I'm fussed. Yeah, when it leads to more injuries, then what? Yeah. No, big up, guys. Here listening in the back. Big up, Darren, man. Big up to you, brother. Every single time. Manners and respect. Is this a board plant? I think we have a Trojan horse inside the club. We are getting killed from the inside. All right, that is the damn Trojan horse, isn't it? He's an agent. He's a mold. And it's going to destroy us from within, which is the best way to destroy any empire, isn't it? You know, crumble from within. Only if we bring someone else in. If not, we're playing already short again. Yeah, and I hear it because in the Athletic Club game, when Kai Havertz came on in the end and scored those two goals, I was like, this is in this capacity, he's actually useful. When you're up 2 goals, you take your striker off, and he comes on and kill the game. Because I'm tired of us being up 2 goals and then stop playing football and then invite pressure onto us. If you can take off a Gyökeres in the 75th minute and Havertz comes on and score another goal, I'm calm. I'm here for it. Why would it lead to more injuries? We have enough options to rotate, even without Havertz. I would argue better options to rotate too. How about the depth chart for a striker? It's Gyökeres, Havertz, Jesus. Jesus is a half a person, injury-wise. Well, now if Gyökeres goes down, we're back to Moreno. So, you know, breaking news for Arsenal is never good. Whenever you hear breaking news from Arsenal, you cringe. You're like, oh my God. You know, this is not good. It's not breaking news, we're signing a player. Breaking news, someone is injured. Boyton said, I'd rather Moreno be the backup than Havertz. That's just bad planning, isn't it? Because we bought Moreno as a midfielder. So play him there. I would rather Waneri Diamond be closer to touching grass than Havertz being between them and the grass. I'm with you there. I definitely want to see them two. Big up, Gavin. Big up to you, my brother. Hope you are well. If Havertz stays, then he's gonna pick up more injuries. By the way, a bit of madness to tell him to bulk up. If he even bulked up, I don't think he bulked up. He looked like, yeah. That's the thing with Arteta talking about. He transformed his body and all this. It looked like the same clumsy Kai. He came on against United. He was on the ground more than he was on his feet. Arteta has no choice but to play Gyökeres now. Yeah, so I don't want to hear anything about you can't incorporate a striker. Come on, man. Earn your money. The loyalty allows operations to bottle another decision that should have been made from the boardroom to the players' bottle seems to be the Emirates in the Emirates DNA. We need to change it from the top, but we can start with him. Sack him. 31 point something million it would cost to sack him. Like AJ eloquently tells us all the time how much it would cost to sack him. So should we do it? Yes, do it. Sack him. Sack him. Is the process still processing? Yeah. Nothing processed is good, you know. Processed meat, probably the worst shit you can put in your body. It's messy to say the least. Premier League needs to find a way to reduce this happening in the future for both players and clubs. Some sort of transparency needs to be introduced around contracts. He's saying someone promised him something. You know, the gentleman's agreements. There aren't any gentlemen billionaires. Billionaires aren't gentlemen because they put on suits and clearly shave their face and they're well kept. Nah, that's the image. To get to that level, you have to do some cutthroat shit. They aren't gentlemen. You know, real estate developers that they put people out their homes. You know, they build on sacred land. Stuff like that. Billionaires, they're cutthroat people. They aren't gentlemen. There's no gentleman's agreement. Shame on ISAK for believing in any kind of gentleman's agreement and promises. Nah, brother. They never signed, you know, that contract extension. The assembled, right? All that nonsense, stop goodness, pure, and now look, they're running out of ideas, man. Is our trophy drought old enough to? Ooh, yes, hey, Dana, with the comment of the day, that made me chuckle. Take a sip of my yak. Old enough to vote. Yep, old enough to drink too. Our Premier League trophy drought is old enough to drink if we're in these United States. It's over 21. Kai is our 7th injury total this season already. Oh my days. Yeah, not a good look. E-Ross, operations are the masters of perception with the word if at the forefront. If it wasn't for this, you would have done that. Procrastination, the breaking of many clubs. Yeah. Like deadline day shouldn't be a thing. Deadline day fiasco should not be a thing at this level. You know, it shouldn't. Like clubs, you should know what you need going into a Premier League season, and the window opens and you go do it. Shouldn't be a thing. The hell? We're gonna wait till deadline day. The clock is running like that. This must be like a Sky Sports thing, because Sky Sports is the only one who benefits from this shit. Because I think that's the day they get the highest amount of ratings. The highest amount of ratings. Everyone's tuned in to see what last day deadline is. So you had 3 months. You have 90 days to get deals done, and you wait until the 11th hour. Come on, people. It's lame. It's crazy. Procrastination. I love how the assemble put it in all caps, because that's what it is. Ain't no deadline day deal, no steal. It's procrastination. That's what the fuck it is. Thoughts on the game this weekend against Leeds? We win. I think we win. I think it'll be a difficult game, but a comfortable scoreline in the end. You remember that Leicester game we played, the game that turned Moreno into a striker. It made Mikel a genius. Remember that one? That was actually a closely contested game. Those goals came in like the last 6 to 8 minutes of the game. You know, we were 6 to 8 minutes from drawing 0-0 to a relegation Leicester team. Relegation Leicester team, relegated league team / newly promoted. Like the relegation teams, newly promoted teams are usually on the same or on par, right? But I think we win in the end. Prediction will be on the warm-up show with the Waffle Don on Friday. But I think we win. Your game is much more interesting. Your game has all the vim. Monday Night Football at St. James's Park. You know, that man might throw eggs at the Liverpool bus, you know, the way you men have ruined their season before it even starts. Please like the stream if you haven't already. It really helps Darren out, says AJ. We are up to 24 likes. Oh, big up, man. 20 is usually my mark. 4 over. I love it. Love it. I reckon you guys win first game at the Emirates. Student, I reckon, comfortable scoreline. Comfortable scoreline in the end. But when you look at the game, it won't be a dominant 2-0 performance. It will be. I'm not high on Daniel Fark. I think he's a yo-yo manager. You know, every time he came up with Norwich, I think they went right back down. I think the championship is his level. You know, But then again, you know, we've seen championship managers knock Mikel out the FA Cup, out of cups. We've seen Enzo come up from the championship and give Mikel problems. You know, he's been found out by most accounts. You know, found out to the point where people say he doesn't know how to coach a striker. Imagine having one of the best strikers in the world and not knowing how to use him. That's an indictment on your coaching acumen. And he shouldn't, his name shouldn't be put in any of those conversations that Steven Seagal puts him in. Talking about, I think he's up there. I can't name 5 minutes. Just like what, bro? Just stop. Just stop. Big up to my partner in crime, my stream partner in crime. I almost had a blunder there. Why for that? The Waffle Don himself. Can we get to 30 likes? Can we? Probably on the watch back. Probably not live. But we move. We strive for it. Be assembled. That couldn't have been any more spot on. That comment right there. Yeah. Procrastination FC, says E. Ross. Liverpool ruined Newcastle season by not doing anything. I mean, now you did something. You did something. Don't hold your hands up and say you did nothing. You went and took the striker that they would have gotten when they sold you ISAK. You took their side girl. You took their side chick. And now you're coming to take his wife. You know? So you did something. You made Newcastle look like it's not a very attractive place to go right now. Looks like a fire sale. Calvert Lewin and Okafor at Leeds, by the way. Yeah, I think Saliba and Gabriel will deal with them. But I see them keep much better strikers. Quiet, but they must. We have to win this. We have to win this because could Newcastle get something at home against Liverpool? They will be up for that. St. James's crowd is going to be. They're going to be mad at you, all. I think they were linked with Ekitike many years ago. They were linked with Ekitike this year. So they're probably going to boo the shit out of them. It would be a tough game. That one's going to be hard to predict. Some good games this weekend, or match week too. Some very good games. But yeah, we'll see. Did I skip a message? Is this the same message, AJ, about Renee? Just a little earlier that I think you went. Okay, definitely. Eyes are bad. I do wear glasses. I just don't wear them on screen. There we go. Listen to this, bro. Renee sits down with her strikers at the start of the start on preseason and says, "How do you want your chances so you can win us more games and, more importantly, trophies?" That's a great conversation to have. Do we think? Because I don't think Mikel has done that. I don't think Mikel has done that with Gyökeres. But hey, how do you want the ball? And I think I've said those very same words on stream with that damn cat from Red Pit Podcast. When I was arguing, when he was telling me, doesn't matter what order you get the strikers in, as soon as, and I was like, no, they need to be here now. They need to be in the squad now so they can be training with Odegaard, so Odegaard can know how he likes to receive the ball. How does he make his runs? That type of stuff. I know we've seen Thierry Henry many times because when he speaks, we listen. As Arsenal fans, we lock on and we hear him say many times he knew that that Perez couldn't get him the ball that the same way that Dennis could, or Freddie couldn't get him the ball the same way that Dennis could. Like Dennis could find him anywhere on the pitch, right? But if he was with Freddie, he needed a 1-2. But Robert has to be in his path. These are the things that Gyökeres needs to talk to Zubimendi, Odegaard, and the coach. This is where I'm most effective. Help me out. I'm here to score goals. Help me score them. Can't score them without the ball. Big up to the Waffle Don. Absolutely. Big up to AJ, man. Every single time. Yeah, that's a coach. That is a coach. That's coaching, isn't it? If Liverpool play the occasion, and it will be an occasion rather than the game, Liverpool lose. Otherwise, I see a feisty, exciting 2-1 win. I tell you what, you see that damn Bruno G? He's going to be punching up, man. There's going to be some nasty tackles flying in, someone might leave this game injured. And I do like Tonali. I think Tonali is a baller, but, Liverpool are champions. They have the know-how. What was that the 3-3 game last year? St. James's. But that was with ISAK. I just don't see where Newcastle's goals are going to come from. And I think Liverpool will score. But, yeah. Monday Night Football, watch-alongs everywhere. I'm very invested in that one. That might be the best game of match week, too, along with Tottenham and Man City. But there is a world where Arsenal, Liverpool, and City all come out of next week with 3 more points. And then, the top starts to bottleneck. And then August 31st, it's Arsenal to Anfield. The Blunderman versus the Premier League champs. It's looking long. If you can't make it, fake it. He's doing neither. He's just been found out, man. He's been found out. Uncomfortable conversations are being had about his leadership, about his captain, about his tactics. It's just a mess. I remember the conversation was sent around in the summertime. It's only the 1st of June, calm down. And only the 1st of July, calm down. And then it's yesterday, stricto and egal. When all that smoke that as waned, now the only thing positive they have to lean on is the window's still open. I can feel the chest slowly going. They're forcing themselves to do this. Where is it? Where the hell is it? Fake it. Yep. They're faking the chest because inside they know that this squad is not good enough to win the Premier League, and that's why I've moved away from the Premier League talk a while ago. I have. It's if you do a domestic double on the season, it's a successful season. You won 2 trophies. Because all things being equal, because is football linear? Is it not? We know football is not linear, but you can make reasonable assumptions, right? Assumptions are fair. Okay. In the state of Arizona, it's warm most of the time. Is it warm all the time? No, but it's still a fair generalization to say it's good weather, it's warm. But it's not absolute. You can make generalizations are sometimes fair to make, right? So if I'm making a generalization statement and I say Liverpool have a better manager, a better squad, and have had a better transfer window than Arsenal. So have Man City, better manager, a better squad, and have a better transfer window than Arsenal. Then I expect them to finish above Arsenal. Now you can frame that into a linear context and say football is not that linear, but that does not make the statement invalid. Because by most accounts, those 2 statements are true. Liverpool and City have a better squad, better manager, and a better transfer window than Arsenal had. So I don't expect us to win over a 38-game season. I wouldn't expect us to beat them to the Premier League trophy. Then I would need the squad to overperform. And who is in charge of getting the squad to overperform is Mikel, and I don't trust him to do that. Right? That's my talking point. So, with that being said, the window's still open. That's what they're saying. That's the only hope they have of winning the Premier League and lifting a major. It's the window's still open. Oh, no, we know the window's done. We're not signing anyone else. We're not. But they won't concede that. They'll just hold on to it and say, we have a chance. It's going to be a fascinating watch. Great fixtures this weekend. Yeah? Roller coaster. There's going to be someone's going to be mudded. I was expecting the Man United fans to be mudded this weekend, but them men came out of a 1-0 loss at home with chest like they won the game. I haven't seen that damn Wahaha today. But he did show his face after the game, so I'm not gonna beat him up too much, but dig him up. Our operations are in a gun battle with a knife and no bulletproof vest. It's hiding behind a rock. Take cover. Take cover. The contrarians are the top gooners, man. They just really like to disagree with anything that rhymes with accountability. It's like accountability is chasing them, but they're faster, and they just keep running and running, moving the goalposts, shifting and dodging. You're like, come on, man. At some point, you have to pull the rug out and understand that this isn't good enough. You're just like, yesterday when the news broke, literally, man was saying, there's no way Bertha is a part of this when they were talking about the Trossard thing. And these are Rivals fans saying, Retta, what are you men doing over there? What the hell is wrong with Arsenal? The people who are lifting trophies are looking at us and saying, what the hell is wrong with Arsenal? That's not the way you do it. Like Liverpool won the league with Luis Diaz and sold him for money. We've been losing leagues with Martinelli and Trossard, and we're signing them back up. You know, like what are we doing? Rodrigo is on the bench. No minutes. No minutes. Week you in for Xabi Alonso. I think he's under pressure there. But if I'm Arsenal and I'm making that conversation, very uncomfortable with Xabi Alonso and Rodrigo. And I've said on the warm up a couple. I think the window closes and he remains a Real Madrid player, but he won't play. And when the January window opens, the loan deals will start to swirl around again because we're closer to the World Cup and he knows he definitely needs to play. But by then, the damage will already been done. He could have already helped us in points that will be dropped when our left side is thinking we really have nothing on the bench to bring on. You know, but you know, I don't think Xavi fancies him. You know, and he needs to grow a backbone. You need to be like, okay, bro, you can play football. Rodrigo, you are a very good, very talented footballer. But Real Madrid is not the be-all, end-all of football careers. Like, you can leave there and go have a good career somewhere else. You know, I want to stay and fight for my place. Man, the hell with that. The hell with that. You know, like La Liga does not hold any more weight than a Premier League title. Right? The biggest domestic trophy. You lift the Premier League title in England, you put it in your trophy cabinet, satisfying just the same. But the Champions League is a whole different story. But then again, you've won the Champions League 2-3 times with Real Madrid. But you, a footballer, you want to play football, don't you? You know, January makes no sense, bro. He'll be cup tied for the Champions League, and that's why we'll do it. That's why we will do it. This is still a thing. He'll be cup tied. But then because I remember we did the same thing with Aubameyang. When we signed him, he was cup tied when we first bought because he had played with Dortmund. I have learned that when something don't make sense, is not reason to excuse Arsenal for not doing it. It's usually the catalyst behind Arsenal doing some shit. Like signing Havertz from Chelsea and making him your highest paid player before he kicked the ball made 0 sense, and that's exactly what the fuck we did. Before he kicked the ball for us. Now, if you're Bukayo Saka and you've been carrying the club for 4 seasons, you just came off the back of a fresh title race, and you see man win the Champions League with Chelsea, and you see man come to your club, sign a contract, and is the highest paid player, but you have a higher output over the years, and you know you're better than him. You look at the club sideways. You're like, what's going on here? Before he kicked the ball, you should perform at the highest level. Now, if that was Mbappe or someone who's performed at the highest level and you know commands a whole lot of money, that's different. But this was Kai Havertz, who Chelsea was trying to get rid of. And you put him on the weight scale above every single player that you just went on the title run with. That would upset any locker room, any dressing room. Anyone. These are human beings, you know. To be honest, operations are being broken up from the inside, in my opinion. It's appalling what is happening at this once great club. Of those words. I think big up to the Jazz. I think Jazz uses those words as well. This once great club. But he says. Because we used to be great, but now we're not moving like it. You know when we were great? We were great with this guy.
On winning leagues, to win league titles, you have to be a Klopp, you have to be a Ferguson, you have to lead by example, you have to be a winner, you have to go about your business, and that reflects in your captain.
That reflects in your captain. But shut up, Tony. Shut up. You can't speak. But this guy.
What are your thoughts though about Eze and the whole Tottenham situation? Because it seems like he's agreed to join Tottenham.
I'm waiting. I'm sitting back. I don't think he's a Tottenham player by the end of the window.
You think he goes to Tottenham, or you think he comes to Arsenal?
I think Tottenham pay for his hotel to come to the Emirates.
You pussy wall, you.
What a guy. And on that note, I am out of here, people. We got 22 locked in. If you haven't hit the like already, please hit the like on the way out. It's been another fantastic day to start on BBK Sports with you, man. Like I've always said, big up to E-Ross, big up to the Assemble, big up to Mr. Bat, big up to every single one of you. Notice Adam didn't say Pep. Yeah, I did clock that. I clocked that the first time I watched the video, but I didn't think much into it. I think he was just so excited or so desperate to get to his point that Odegaard wasn't it, that he wasn't even going to list off a whole bunch of managers. But yeah, big up to the Assemble, yeah, man. Big up to every single one of you who tune in and help make this a very good stream. Greatly appreciated. Big up to every single one of you people. Let's all stay connected. Light bulbs. Okay. Take care of yourselves and each other. Until next time, we are gone.